Hello citizens and welcome back to another time lapse. It's KingChrisGames and today I'm in Minecraft and we are time-lapsing this lift-off island. I can get right into how I'm building it and then I'll explain what I thought at the end. So first we're building the actual island structure. The way I always do this is a crisscross and then you go down with as a pole to where you want the base, the tip of the island to be at the bottom. Then I connect each of the 4 lines going outwards down to the middle and do the little circle of what your island's going to look like. So you have this skeleton you see here. And now you see I'm just starting to fill it in, doing 1/4 at a time and just make it very rough, and then I smooth it off at the end, and it makes a really good base for your floating island. So as I do those corners, I start to think about what I want to put on top, and I said it's lift-off island, so I thought maybe a house that's all like broken, some thrusters in the island, and maybe like a tree or a pond or something, but we'll get to that. As I said, doing the base and the bottom of this floating island, because that's one of the most important bits. As you can see there, just there, I was doing a bit of the side because it didn't quite fit, and it's more of a close-up of me doing it, so you can see it's very just simple, quite easy to do. I think it's the best way that you can make a floating island that looks really good and really passes, because sometimes it's quite difficult. So, just panning to the top now, you can see I'm just adding in the stone, so it's not just a massive void, which just sort of separates it. I guess you didn't really need to do that, but I prefer to do it. Now, moving on to the dirt. I did 1 layer of dirt, then 1 layer of the grass, because I think it looks a lot better on the side, seeing the dirt and then slowly going to the grass, instead of just grass immediately on top of stone. It looks a lot better. And it also means that when you add the water, it doesn't go straight to stone as soon as you break the grass. I think the dirt looks best when it's overhanging the stone a little bit. It makes it look a lot nicer and a lot more like the iron's just being ripped out of the ground than just having it directly on. So as I fill in the grass, I can then start to think about what I want to actually put on top. So I was working out where I'm going to put the water, and then I decided to have 1 pond with 2 really nice rivers coming off it. And you can see how I start to build that here. So you see how I said with having the dirt, it means you can just carve out the rivers and just go straight to stone, you have to replace blocks, etc. And I have my 2 rivers in. Didn't know what I thought about that, but it sort of splits it up quite well into 2 big sections. Now I'm starting with the framework of the house. So the way I built this, because I knew I was going to have it dropping off the island, I built it further out than I wanted, so I could then just break it back as I decide how it's going to go. So once you have your foundation in, I could start to think about how I was going to have the walls and the roof looking. So I thought I'd do it very just like a structure with no features, and then do the features last. That's how I like to build. So I got all the pillars in, the bricks in, and decided to work out how tall like the floor's going to be, where the roof's going to go, all of that sort of thing. So I'm putting in the quartz here to separate where that's the floor will go, and then starting to put the roof. I decided to have a slanting roof, so one side of the house has a 2nd story, but the other side just has a taller 1st story, if you know what I mean. And adding in the rest of the roof here. Again, make it bigger than I need because it's all going to be collapsed, and I'm going to bring it back when I get around to doing that. So after adding in the roof, I can then start on the interior and how all the features are going to look. Just polishing up the roof a bit so it looks a bit more structurally sound, even though this building's broken in half. And adding in the floor, which I decided birchwood. Since it's a sort of modern-ish building, I thought birchwood always looks quite good in a modern building. In some other time lapses you see, I'm quite a fan of birchwood. And putting in some dark oak as a 2nd story, as like supports and stuff, which then will be like broken once I put in the house collapsing and stuff like that. So, as we pan into the inside, you can see the 2nd story and how I got the wood as like support, and now I'm adding in the windows. So the windows at the back are all going to have like glass in, of course one's on the side because of this event that's happened. They'll probably be broken, but I changed that later. I put it in normal for now. Now I think I'm panning in to start on the kitchen. So kitchens I love building. I put in some like crafting tables, some work surfaces, some furnaces, chests, and I always use fence posts because I always think they make the kitchens look really nice and really like their own sort of shape, but also very open. So you see I put these like facades of fences, and I spend a while like change that around because I'm not quite sure how it's going to work out. But and yeah, that's really nice. And what I love is that nether fence post things won't connect to wooden ones, so you can make really nice, cool looking patterns. And you can see I do that here. So now I'm just sorting out the fence posts and adding in a chest. I decided to change some of them, so I wasn't quite happy how it looked with the alternating. So I made it all look all nether fence posts on one side and all wood on the other side. So you can see I'm just sorting it out here. So I'm not quite sure I want it to look nice. And there, you see I've done that now, and it looks much nicer. So that's the kitchen done with the work surfaces, and I'm really happy how that worked out. Now, moving on to the next room. So this big room beside it with a big window. I really wanted to have some nice chairs here, a nice social area. So I put that in with some nice wooden stairs to act as chairs, and then some tables in the middle. So it's nice, your nice living area, but also dining area sort of thing. I haven't got to think about all the rooms, because half the rooms are off the cliff in the void somewhere. So I just think about some of the rooms that will look really nice. Again, putting in this nice separator, that's not a wall, so you can still see through it, so it makes the room nice and spacious, but it's still separating the rooms off a bit. And I think that's a really good building tip. I love using fence posts to separate rooms without making it feel enclosed. And as we pan out, you can see that how well it works. Now I'm just changing around some of the island down there because there was pillars and I didn't want to go into nothing, if you know what I mean. And using this little space here, I put some leaves because I thought it looked really nice. And I ended up putting some enchanting tables and some more chairs, like a little reading area. And I thought I'd add some tables, and I also thought about bookcases. I need to add some bookcases somewhere, so I decided to put a few there. As you see, I'm just adding, and I think that looks really nice. And now we move on to this side. I wasn't quite sure to put this little space here because it's sort of like a tiny bit of room. I decided to put some like banners there because I wasn't sure, but then I thought nah. So I put some music box and some more seats. I didn't have to think much about it because most of that room is down in the void. And now moving on to the upstairs where I have the master bedroom. Put some fences so you can't just walk off the balcony, but most of these are broken anyway because of course the house is collapsing. And adding in the beds on this end because this end stays up, but I wasn't sure how the end towards the camera is going to stand up. But doing the beds first, windows, and I put some nice furniture in with the big wall like wardrobe. The big wall wardrobe looks really nice. I'm doing that now. So I placed chests and then dividers, and I put some doors so it like makes it really feel like a nice wardrobe. And then, of course, later on, we'll make it seem like it's falling down. So a lot of this is quite temporary, apart from like the far end. Most of it is temporary, so you can then make it break and do that later on. So now I actually start on making the roof look like it's broken and falling down. So at the moment, it just looks like it's a clean cut in half when this was being like wrenched out the ground. It's all been breaking and pieces everywhere. So a lot of the roof that would have been overhanging where the house would have been is I didn't think it would come completely off, so I sort of made it look like it's all like breaking off and bending down. Of course, things bending in Minecraft is quite difficult to do. And this floor with the room on, putting all the wood so like the roof's collapsed and fallen on the floor below, and this wood has collapsed. And I spent a lot of time on this wall because I wasn't sure how to angle it correctly, because it's quite difficult to like angle the wall, I think. But I think I did a pretty good job on it. And breaking the windows as well, and making these chests and the wardrobe all fall down as well. So it really looks like it's just been smashed in half. I had some glowstone here, so I thought it'd be like big ceiling lamps in this house, and they've all like come crashing down with glass everywhere and light everywhere. Yeah. And then on the back here, I thought this whole side of the house, because most of it's gone off the edge, has been like pulled forward. So I put the foundations back a bit, so it looks like it's been entirely pulled forward. So as we pan back round to the front, I decided to leave it here because I don't want to add too much, because sometimes less is more. And I thought it looked really nice how I left it off. Just did a bit more edits to the roof to make it a bit more look a bit better, and added a couple more things in, some enchanted tables, some tables that are breaking and falling into the void. And that's the house done. As now we move on to the front and the rest of the island. So of course, coming out the door, there must be like bridges going over this water bit so they can get to the other areas. I thought it's a modern house with a farm with some animals and some trees and bushes, so they'd have fencing. So this fencing again is like coming off the edge of the island and all breaking. And I put in the bridges and a nice path, so it looks really nice. And also adding some lights. So these lights would have broken or fallen off at this massive event of the coming out the ground, so that's why some of them have fallen off, and also some of the lights are coming off the edge of the island as well. And I think this worked out really nice in the end. And as we go around to this side again, just doing the lights. Now I can start on this animal pen. So I added in some more fences so it contains the animals, because the animals, I hope, won't just walk off the edge of the island. And put in some sheep and some hay bales, but of course they are right on the edge, so they've sort of fallen off. And now I start on the tree. I love the tree, it's one of my favourite bits. All the roots, of course, being wrenched out the ground, so they're all like around the island and just pointing into nowhere. And trees I love to build by hand because it can make them so much more interesting. So I build 4 major arms and cover them with leaves, and then sort of do the trimmings at the end. I always do the tops first and then do the undersides of the tree. I think it works a whole lot better, and you can see how I build it here. I just start with the wood and cover them and then shape them. So it's alright if your trees start just like squares or cubes or whatever. you can then sort it out and shape to make it look nice. And you see this tree already is looking pretty nice, and I'm doing the underside, and then you're done with the tree. So, now I've finished the tree, and I start to think about the rest of the island. So in the bottom left-hand corner, I'm just placing down some flowers. So that's like a little flower bed bit, which is really nice. And I do the same on the other side. I put like a little tree, but my camera cuts it out a bit. And then dealing with this pond. So I decided to put some reeds in, as usual. That always has round ponds, like some nice sugarcane. Lily pads always look nice, and then just finish it off with some bone meal all around and some vines, which grow quite fast because I got the tick speed on really high. So with all that in, it's like look much more naturey, much more nice, and more normal instead of just flat grass. And that's, go back to the side of the house, and this is the final bit, the thrusters, the things that have actually pulled this island, ripped it out the ground, and torn this house in half. So I do 4 thrusters in total, with an iron column, and then some blue magical energy. I was considering fire, but fire is very genuine, like everybody does fire if it's like a thruster, and I thought, oh, it might be like a futuristic thruster, blue sparkly stuff coming out of it, that's thrusting this island up. And yeah, I really like how these worked out. And they look all pretty similar, but they would, and I think they look really cool. So, as we finish the last 2 thrusters, I will say thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this time-lapse. There'll be a 361 published as well, so you can sit and watch that as well if you'd like, if you have a virtual reality headset, or if you've got Google Chrome, or the YouTube app on your phone. All of them, you can watch it and look around, and it's much more immersive experience. But apart from that, I hope you enjoyed. This is a final shot of what the island looks like. And yeah, make sure to leave a like and check out the other time lapses I do if you enjoy Minecraft time lapses, and I'll do some more in future. Please leave a comment down below of what else you'd like to see next. And yeah, it's been one of my longest time lapses, and it wasn't like the biggest build I've done, but it definitely took quite a while, so I was really thinking about how I was building it. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and you can use my building tips. Yeah, alright, I guess I'll see you in another video. Have a nice day, goodbye.